Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Olympia's Soiree, and we just found out that that child that we thought was nice is a big raging dickhole. Anyway, so, yeah. Now we're contemplating our sadness.
Hime, did something happen? You've been deep in thought since your return.
I can't do his voice, I don't know what's happening. Anyway, Daifuku approached my feet as I stood on the balcony, looking out at Tenyo Island. Daifuku, did you know there are a lot of different types of people on this island?
How many times do I have to tell you not to trust anyone from the surface?
Why was Hayuri so aggressive toward me? I could easily imagine him lashing out at people on the surface. Or can you accept having your child live underground, never seeing the sun for as long as they live? I could see now why Riku said that. I don't want to live here anymore, but there's no way off this island! It felt like so long ago already. The young man who pleaded with me when I came off stage may have been suffering dearly. If only I had treated him a little better back then. Or just, no. If only I had treated him better back then. I can't read. If I ever get the chance to see him again, I'll make sure to hear him out. Everyone's different, and each one of them is living their lives in a different way. So what can I do for them? Of course, what's important is for me to find my soulmate, and I'm not forgetting my role to make the sun shine. But there has to be more than I can do. Daifuku climbed up onto my shoulder. His warmth was so nice and comforting. Then, I was almost going to give him the wrong voice. Then, I ask that you start with what you can. He does look like he would have the Hichikata voice, but like we can't have two, right? So, his words echoed in my mind as my little partner and I gazed out at Tenyo Island. My little partner's over there making a ruckus, aren't you? What you doing? Yeah, you can't get those bells off anymore, buddy. Naraku's Spring of Death. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, you can't. It's not gonna come off.
Sometimes I think he plays with the bells on his ring. I mean, he loves them, but I also sometimes think he likes to shake them and try to shake them off the rings and throw them on the floor. But he does that so much that the little plastic loopy thing that was on there, like, he basically chewed through it and, like, broke it. So it was like, I can't put this back on. So I have, like, not like a carabiner, because those have, like, the snappy closures. This is one of those ones that, like, has the screw toppy things, but they're shaped like that. You know what I mean? That now has all of his bells on it on the thing. So, like, unless you learn how to unscrew that, it ain't coming off. Like, not coming off. It's on there permanently. It's gonna put, like, a twisty tie on there, but then it's like, then it'll just chew right through that. So this one is like, it's metal, you can't get it off. Good luck. I don't know if he's trying or, like, just... I don't know if he loves bells or hates them, because sometimes with his dingle balls, he throws them, and then you put them back, and then he throws them, and you're like, do you just like the dingly sound, or do they piss you off, and you're like, fuck bells! I don't know. I can't really tell. Seems excited by them, but he could be pissed. I don't know. Birds are like, we hate bells, and humans keep giving us bells, and I want the bells to die, and we just don't understand. We're like, look, it's so cute, he's playing with his bells, and the bird's like in a murderous rage. It's really not, though. He gets very protective if you try to play with his bells. And he's over there, he gets all puffed up, and he's like, get away from the bells, they're mine. They're like his favorite toy. Anyway. He's not here. The next morning, I got dressed and headed down to Yomi. I wanted to look for Kahina and let him know that his letter had been delivered. I also wanted to talk to the vendor from yesterday. The dormitory guards told me that Kahina wasn't around. I suppose it won't be easy finding him. I let out a sigh when... Ah, Olympia! Speak of the devil. Look, he looks so sweet. I hope you're not evil, because you look adorable. I like you better than your brother. You seem nice. Your brother's a little shady. Kahina, thank goodness you're here. The letter was delivered, safe and sound. Kanan was worried about you. I could see the tears in his eyes. Really? Are you really sure he took the letter? Of course. And his reply? Oh, nothing yet. I see. Don't worry, he did say he'd read the letter, so I'm sure he's writing a letter back to you as we speak. He's like, so he didn't even read it. Oh, this sounds like... I'm sure. I guess I shouldn't have expected one so soon. I'm getting ahead of myself. Kaina gave a chuckle. Like, he seems so adorable. Aw. They do sort of look alike, but I wouldn't have thought they were twins. Their faces do look similar, though. Maybe they seem different because of their clothes and manner of speaking. Also the hair and eyes. I know I asked for your help, but afterward I was sort of regretting it. I can't seem to stop bothering Kanan after all the trouble I've put him through. I thought he hated me and wouldn't accept my letter. I'm sure that's not true. We're twins, but we lived apart from each other because we were born with different colors. I did notice that your colors were different. I looked closer at Kaina. His golden hair and eyes were indeed of the yellow class, but... Our mother was from the orange color class. I exhibited strong yellow traits while Kanan had orange traits. Which is why I was adopted by a yellow noble. Noble, a hereditary class of aristocratic status that offers political assistance to their leaders. A noble was the confidant to each color's leader. I heard the position was succeeded generation after generation, often within wealthy families. God. So, even if you're twins, you're separated if the colors you're born with are different? You can't even live together? Isn't that the way it is? I couldn't say anything. It seemed this was normal on the island. See, more and more you're like, wait, it's not even just like, oh, well, you have to we throw away your kid if it's not the right color class. What? Oh, and also if you're in the orange color class and your child has yellow traits, like, peace out, he's going over there. Or poor Hairi, who looks like he should have been given to the turquoise people and was like, nah, fucking throw him in the dumps. In any case, I appreciate your help. I'd like to thank you somehow, but... Don't worry, I'm just happy I was able to help. You know, I always thought you were cold-hearted. I'm sorry. Well, I never really spoke to anyone on the surface. Right. I never even seen you off stage. What brought you here to Yomi? I have friends down here, and I often visit the bathhouse. Heh. Shikinjo is famous, alright. I went there a number of times back when I lived on the surface. But now, seeing that sign up there doesn't make me feel as excited as it used to. What am I saying? It's not like grumbling to you is going to change anything. I know. Can I ask for your help again if I need to send another letter to him? Absolutely. Great. Well, I better get back to the dormitory. Oh, before I go, can I ask you for one more favor? Is it okay if I speak to you again casually like this? I don't really know anyone else here. Sure. Feel free to talk to me anytime. He seems so nice. Is he going to try to kidnap us and murder us? Because I don't want that to happen. He seems like a nice boy. I like him. Thank you. Well, see ya. Good night. Good night to you, too. When everybody makes you, like, you shouldn't trust anyone. If every one of your love interests tell you not to trust anyone, and you're like, but I don't, and then everybody seems, but he seems nice, and so he's probably suspicious. I'm just like, I want to trust you, but there's a part of me that doesn't, because I don't trust anyone. But then your brother's probably the trustworthy one, but I'm already, like, sussing him. Like, I don't know. Like, wait, did I read that? Good night? Somehow that didn't seem quite right. I looked at the time, and it was a little before 11 in the morning. If he goes to sleep now, that means he must work at night. I wonder what he does. Or there's things like that, like, huh, good night, that's weird. And then it's like, oh, he must work at night. And you're like, am I supposed to find that really suspicious? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, I continued my search for Asua and Hairi for a while, but ended up making my way to Shikinjo. Shikinjo. Ah, I know Asua. He lives at the orphanage on the other side of the plaza. He comes here every so often. As for Hairi, he left the orphanage some time ago, so he must be living on his own now. He has a vendor permit, which allows him to move freely between here and the surface. I'm not sure exactly where he lives. I see. Thank you. I'll try to keep an eye out for him. You look rather tired. I was just about to take a break. Would you care to join me? Yes, I love you. We haven't seen enough of you lately, beautiful. Here you are. Today's special is cherry blossom rice cakes. These are my favorite. They look delicious. I'm glad. I thought you might like them since you like Daifuku. Oh, it's such a cute name. I like it. Oh, well, I'll have a bite. I gingerly peeled the cherry leaf off the rice cake.
Glad you like it.
Is it that obvious?
Your entire body is telling me that you like it.
It's the best I've ever had. You're really spoiling me with all the wonderful food here.
I aim to serve the very best, but it's also because I appreciate great food myself.
So, like, if he's purple, why does he live here? And why did Hayuri end up in the orphanage here? That's stories. Me too. Kurobo was right when he said that I would love this place. Kurobo was right when he said that I would love this place. I feel like I kind of mumbled that oddly. Weird.
So, how's your husband search going so far?
The rice cake nearly tumbled out of my frozen hand.
I don't mean to pressure you. I simply overheard some guests betting on who you'd choose.
Seriously? Did you place a bet too?
On me?
I think it's going to be so funny when we go down his route if he's telling the truth and he's like, oh, I'm so happy I bet on myself. This time I almost knocked my cup over.
Just to make it more interesting, I'm not thinking about marriage, so don't worry.
I wasn't sure how to respond, but there was something I needed to ask. Yusuga, what do you mean you're not thinking of marriage? Are you not 20 years old yet?
I am 20, but the higher-ups told me I'm relieved of the duty to mate, so I plan on remaining single and carefree.
I'm relieved of the duty. Wow. There's so much to unpack there that I'm just going to put the suitcase in the corner and just pretend. We're going to wait till we go on vacation again. Is that so? Could he be following some kind of custom?
But you have little choice in the matter, no? I heard that you must find your husband within a year.
Well, yes, but to be honest, things haven't been going well. You're like, I got a whole year! And then all of a sudden you're like, I've got 26 minutes! Procrastination.
You've not found anyone that you like.
One person actually spoke to me at the plaza, but apparently it was only because I was the subject of his research. I'm fine, really. Your fortune was good, and even the Sujiura I opened said that I'd find the person I seek. Maybe my future husband will appear tomorrow. No, maybe even later today, but... I stopped for a moment to take a sip of my tea. Yesterday I was talking to a person named Riku of the blue. He said I should choose someone from a high color class because I'm of the white. I'm not going to deny that it makes sense. I know what I have to do, but I don't want to choose under such restrictions.
It sounds like something a man from a primary class would say. How boring. This color class system binds us. But the truth is, only those in love should be married.
See? And this is why we fall in love with this man.
You should only get married if you love someone.
Hello, thank you, genius. Yusuga? From the moment I met him, he intrigued me, because he's gorgeous. He spoke elegantly and was always so calm. I never thought I'd hear such words from a man like him.
You've been visiting Yomi for a week now. You know the kind of people who live here, don't you?
I nodded seriously.
I heard what happened with Kaina, and there are plenty of people here in Yomi like him. And those who break the law and unite with a prohibited color are executed. It's likely the only reason he was saved was because his brother is leader of the Orange.
Okay, that makes more sense than, like, you know, oh, we killed his girlfriend because, like, she was lower. It's his brother saved him.
That makes sense. The color class system decides who can marry. But is it a crime to fall in love?
Apparently, in this fucking world, yes. And that's bullshit.
Is it a crime for a child of an unwanted color to be born from the union of different colors?
Yusuga's expression was the same as always. But there was an unusual heaviness in his voice. He's like, I had a red parent and a blue parent and I'm purple, and they were like, fuck this shit. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Do you guys not have art class? Drive me bonkers.
Children born as failures are sent to the orphanage here in Yomi. And so those who have been exiled come together here and birth colors not found on the surface. So I ask, has Asua done any wrong?
Aside from being born, no. And look at how adorable he is. Look, he is the most adorable fucking child. You know I hate children, but, like, this poor fucking child is adorable and you just want to hug him. It's okay, sweetie. It's alright. You're beautiful. So rude.
Really? She won't yell at me if I talk to her?
how many times do I have to tell you not to trust anyone from the surface? And that kid doesn't, like, quote-unquote, look like a failure, you know what I mean? But, to, like, what Yosuga would just said, and then kind of what Riku was saying, like, it's not like Asua was born with multiple colors, so seen as a failure because, like, whoa, 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 get out. But, like, Hayuri absolutely looks like he's from the turquoise, but if his parents were, like, blue and green, and he didn't come out all blue or all green, he doesn't distribute, like, one or the other, it's like, whoa, 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 turquoise? Out. You know what I mean? Even though he's like, I don't fit in here, but yet I'm also, quote-unquote, my parents thought I was a failure, even though I straight up look like I belong to the turquoise class. But, and that's kind of like Kaina. He was basically abandoned, but probably because his family was higher up, he could just be donated to a lord in the yellow who'd be like, oh, sure, we'll take your kid. Whereas Hayuri's family might have been, like, lower. You know, maybe they weren't rich people, so it was like, failure, ship off, you know? That's kind of fucking sad. Anyway. No, not at all. My voice shook. An indescribable despair came over me in that moment. You'll not be labeled a criminal, no matter your choice. It seems that way. In that case, marry your true love. You have the freedom to do so. I didn't expect him to support me this way. I sat frozen, the rice cake still in my hand. But, as a Tenyo Island native, you're unfamiliar with men, and now you must find a husband. I suggest you develop an interest in them first. An interest in men? And this is where Yosuga takes us to the fucking all-male strip club review. Please don't! I don't need wangs in my face, Yosuga. What the fuck? It's the, take an interest in men. Wait, what? I felt like I was about to jump out of my seat. That might be the answer I was looking for. You cannot tell how delicious something is if you don't taste it first. And then again, some food in the world is actually poisonous. He's literally just telling us to taste test the fucking ice cream in the fucking ice cream shop. Oh my god. Yosuga. He's like, why don't you just make out with everybody? It'll be great. Why not have a man? See, Yosuga would absolutely be like, oh, I'm totally down with the man harem. It sounds like a great idea. See? This, I knew I loved you. I still love Akaza, but, you know, Yosuga's still up there with my favorites. Like, I can't. But first, you take a small sample. Test its aroma and texture to see if it's something you like. You know, the undertones of what you're saying are highly inappropriate, sir. If you come to the conclusion that you may enjoy it, then by all means, take a bite. Sample first, then take a bite. In a similar manner, instead of focusing only on a husband, why not look for someone you can call a friend first? She's like, I never thought about that, and he's like, fucking duh. People are not so simple, you know. Love at first sight is exciting, but getting to know a person gradually is where the real fun lies. Oh, Yosuga, you and my demisexual ass need to hang out. You would not tell everyone about yourself to... You would not tell everything about yourself to someone at your very first meeting, would you? I certainly wouldn't. After all, there was something I didn't want anyone to know. And that's why you must be interested in someone first. And then you'll naturally want to know more about that person. Once you're comfortable with him, have a taste. Thank you, Yosuga. It's like you read my mind. As a fortune teller, I have given my fair share of this kind of advice. I should have come and talked to you sooner. You can't imagine how I've been feeling with the men at the plaza avoiding me on a daily basis. Do you think your week here was a waste of time? And the sweet buns, the sesame balls, the rice cakes? Seeing me, as he gloriously brushes his hair. You're free to choose among any male living on this island. You may marry as you wish. For some reason, the night of my birthday came to mind. It had only been a week since the day I cried so hard with Daifuku by my side. No, none of it was a waste of time. Each day has been full of surprises, anger, despair, confusion, and delicious food. That you cannot ask for anything more than every day full of delicious food, I guess. And it's given me a lot to think about. Not a single day this week was a waste of time. Just as I finished speaking, someone's here to ruin it. Nope. He looks like Lord Tsukiyomi's just returned. I want to know if he's like Cyclops bro, you know what I mean? At the end of a long corridor in Shikinjo lay an old and massive iron door. Beyond that was a long flight of stairs made of stone, leading me down to... Just kidding, it just seemed like it had to be very dramatically red. Oh my god, how does he get the sparkly lights in here? Naraku. Huh? This place is pretty cute. You know what? You know what I just watched recently? Again, I mean, I saw it forever ago, but it was on, like, frickin' Hulu, and I was like, oh, shit! Blast from the Past with fucking Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone were, like, the parents, it's like, they're like, oh my god, the bomb! And they go underground, and they're living in the house for 35 fucking years, and Brendan Fraser's, like, born down there, and he knows nothing about the real world, and then he goes up. This is exactly what this reminds me of. It's the house built in the bunker downstairs. He goes to the surface though, but it's like, this reminds me of that movie right now. We just built a house in a bunker.
Tsukuyomi, here she is. I'm sure you two have much to discuss, so I'll take my leave.
Well, no, he's yellow. Yellow or orange, because that's what the T is. His T is anyway. I don't know what he looks like, so we're just gonna say, thank you, Yosuga. I have no idea what he looks like, so. I didn't notice Yosuga leaving, as I couldn't take my eyes off the sight before my eyes. I couldn't take my eyes off the sight before my eyes. We had a slightly odd phrasing that either it was Akaza or Riku said, but this is the oddest fucking typo in this. Honestly, you know what? We've gotten this far, and there hasn't been a ton of fucking typos. So bravo! Because, like, Axis is usually the ones that it's like, wow, the typos and the translation are just like, what the fuck is happening? They did a good job with this one so far. This is the weirdest thing, but this is, like, barely anything compared to how many typos we usually see in their games. So, wow, it just occurred to me that, like, we have not seen a lot of, like, holy shit, what the hell's happening? No, bravo. Small applause for the translation team and Tim, the terrible typist, actually managing to, like, not be terrible this time. Tim, you're not terrible this time! Bravo! Never thought we'd say that. Anyway. I didn't notice Yosuga leaving, as I couldn't take my eyes off the sight before me. It's just about the house. I'm sorry, you're trying to tell me he's not my dad? Because he is, like, absolutely white. Is he carrying around a doll of us? Does he have a little fucking voodoo doll of us, or is that our mom? I'm just saying, why is everybody have, like, the fucking puppet hands? Everybody is, like, hiding their hands in this game. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, you can't tell me. He's seriously? I'm sorry. No, okay, it wasn't. For some reason, I was just like, which one of the characters was... No, that's Akaza, was Monshiro. Because there's something about his hands and the sleeves is so Monshiro. You know what I mean? Like, I've got my hands hidden. And like, no. But I, for a second, was like, wait a minute. That would have been funnier for some bizarre reason, but... I'm just, you can't tell me he's not of the white class. Come the fuck on. But then he's got, like, Dad? I'm just saying. If he's not, he's somehow related to the, like, he has to be. He's so fucking pale. He looks just like the hair, the eye color, everything. He's of the white class. Like, that's why he can go to the island. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they were like, only the women of the white can go to the island, but, he's a man of the white, so, like, maybe he could go to the island, because he's got some, like, white blood in him. And some gray, maybe. You know, because the ends of his hair, but... Anyway, I don't know the voice to give him. Like, I don't know. He's so, like, fun and mysterious. I love him. Like, dad. He's our dad. Like, not like he's our daddy, but like, he might actually be our dad. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm just going to read it normal until I get to a place where we have a voice for him, because I just don't have one for him. Anyway, it's been a while, my dear child. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you're well. He was like family to me. Hi. But this place was making me speak in a rather stiff tone. So this is where you live, Tsukuyomi? Tsukuyomi, a mysterious man who lives in Naraku. He creates prosthetic limbs for those who have lost body parts to Haku, and lives a quiet life of drawing and painting. Olympia considers him her only family now. He might actually be your legit family, though. Look at him. Come on. I feel like he would have a softer kind of quiet voice. He seems very like, you know, the peace and quiet is perfect for me. I didn't know you were known as the Outsider of Naraku. You had never left the manor before. It's only natural. I love him. He's beautiful. I love the fact that he's got this one like long forelock that's just like long and glorious, and the rest of his hair is like just like freaking crazy and wild. And he also has like his hands are like hiding in my like. There's something adorable about that, because like I like doing it, and you're like, but it is very like almost childlike. Like I'm gonna hide my hands in my sleeves. But there's something like, you know, so it's kind of just seeing this grown man being like, I got my hands in it. You're like, it's kind of adorable. Like, I don't know what it is. Unable to hold back my curiosity, I began to speak. That spring over there looks a lot like the one on Tenyo Island. Look, he's so beautiful. He's so like, just, he's like a little white butterfly. Just don't touch him, he's delicate. I don't... Like, I want him to be her dad because it'd be beautiful, but I also don't want him to be because, like, it'd just be really wrong to oogle our actual father like this, because he's just beautiful. This man is gorgeous. Perhaps it does, but its water is poisonous. Do not touch or drink from it. Poisonous? It's called Shinamizu Spring. Mizu is water, yeah. It's called Shinamizu Spring, or the Spring of Death. Yeah, Shinigami is like a Grim Reaper, right? Isn't that what it is? And Shintao? Something like Shin starts with, yeah. I can't remember the verb right now. So I was like, I know it, but I don't. Anyway. I never remember the actual verb form. I remember it in sentences, but yeah. Anyway. Drinking from it will infect you with Haku. Huh? Oh, fuck, I forgot to read the damn thing. Wait, can we go back and read it, you think? Nope. Wait, nope. Wait, nope. Wait, no, what's happening? Wait, huh. I was trying to go back, but I can't. Nope. Nope. I'm trying to go... But I can't get the thing to select back. You know what I mean? I can't get it to... It says B is to go back, but that's not... Anyway. Shit! And I didn't read all that. I'm sorry. I just can't get the controls. You know what I mean? Like, you can go play and back, but, like, what are the buttons that do it? Like, this just scrolls up and down. So I can't figure out how to... B goes back. Oh, there we go. I don't know why I can... Look. There we go. Shinamizu, water found within the spring in Naraku. Coming into contact with it can cause the person to become afflicted with Haku. Okay. Look, me trying to figure out the controls in this game are the weirdest fucking thing. I don't know why. I cannot fucking manage it. Anyway. Huh? I looked over at the unnaturally still water. Why, indeed. Perhaps because Tsukuyomi and I are possessed by the curse of death. Is this what Yasuga was referring to? Shinamizu, The water was crystal clear and far from what one would envision the Spring of Death to be. But unlike the floral spring on Tenyo Island, this one felt darker and more solemn. Well, I mean, here's the thing. What's the best way, if you're death water, to attract people? Not look like death water. Be like, look at me, I'm a sparkling, beautiful thing. And then suck you in. You know? I'm just saying. Isn't the Ikimizu Spring on Tenyo Island called the Spring of Life? They sound like they're connected in some way. Ikimizu. They are neighboring islands, so it's possible someone named them accordingly. Why would such a dangerous spring like this be here when Tenyo Island's spring is so pure? Legend has it that a fearsome goddess of the dark is sealed deep beneath this spring. Goddess? You don't mean Lady Amaterasu, do you? I believe her name is Izanami. Izanami, the goddess of the dark, said to sleep within Shinamizu Spring. I've never heard that name before. Naturally. You were raised on Tenyo Island after all, but be sure to keep the name in mind. Izanami. I believe there is a corpse that lies in the depths of the spring. I was stunned to hear such a terrifying thought from Tsukuyomi, who didn't even flinch as he spoke. Disease is known to spread from corpses. As Yomi is the land of the dead, it's not unusual to discover dead bodies here. Aren't you scared being here alone? As I have said, I prefer the peace and quiet this location provides. I feel like he is like, aren't you scared to be here? I feel like he is the thing that scares people here. Even though he seems like sweet and adorable and precious, and I love him, there is something that is kind of fucking spooky about him. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're not like, the man's a little spooky. There is like just something slightly, and I don't mean unnerving, but like, you can look at him and you're like, yes, no, there's something a little unnerving. Like, there's something about him that every once in a while you're like, are you like, he gives me vibes like Joker and Dressel from Black Butler, where like Joker is like the clown of the group, and clowns scare the fuck out of me, but I love Joker. He's one of my favorite characters. And Dressel is like a puppet person. You're like, which is also ventriloquist dummies, and dummies creep me the fuck out, but there's something about them that I love that's beautiful. But they're like slightly unnervingly beautiful. You're like, I love you, but there's something a little like in that like pretty creepy. Isn't that like a weird thing? Like, but that's something about him. There's something about him that you're like, there's like a line, just a dark, unnerving line inside of you that like, I like it though. I don't even know how to describe it, but I don't know. It could be the fact that you're carrying around a doll. It could be like the hiding your hands in your sleeves and just the fact that you were like so freaking pale. You've got the crazy like jester hair. I don't know what it is. They're like a jester thing. There's just that slight thing that you're like slightly reminiscent of like a jester or like a freaking puppet or a clown. Something that, and those things creep me kind of, jesters don't really, but like clowns and puppets and doll, like they all kind of creep me out. Like they're just no, get them the fuck away from me. But there is a little tiny, like a thread of that woven into this character. And it's like, I love you. You're gorgeous. There's a thread of creep in you, but I like it because it's just a tiny thread. Look, I can't explain it, okay? I can't explain the slight strange feeling, but that I love him anyway. Like, and that I love it partly because of that slightly strange creep factor. I just question myself greatly right now. Anyway. As I have said, I prefer the peace and quiet this location provides. Unsure of what else to say, I decided to change the subject. By the way, I was worried with how long you were away. Did something happen? All is well back on the island. Just the other day, the sun disappeared, did it not? I remained on the island to keep watch, just in case. Doma said that the solar link came apart. I suppose he is right. The sun has returned to normal, so there's nothing for you to worry about. That's good to hear. Tsukuyomi was the only man I ever met on Tenyo Island. Oh yeah, I just feel like it's because he's either your dad or he actually is of the white. I'm just saying. He would come to visit the island and take care of all of us. He was truly like family, or he's like the man in the moon in the Truman Show. I'm just saying. Oh. As I turned my attention toward the spring, out of nowhere came... Tsukiyomi, isn't that a... Oh. Tokoyomushi. Isn't mushi a bug? Or is that a caterpillar? It's either a bug or a caterpillar, right? I thought mushi with extra I was a caterpillar. Caterpillar or something like that because it sounds like smushy or mushy, like caterpillars are. I don't know why I remember that. Anyway. Isn't that a Tokoyomushi? From Tenyo Island, Tokoyomushi. Tokoyomushi! And eternity bug. Okay, mushi is bug then. Because you want to mushy bugs. Mushi. But a caterpillar is something like that. It's some kind of, there's some, because it's a type of, I guess because but I swear it has some kind of smushy or mushy in it. Something, because you're like, but like caterpillars are kind of squishy. Like, I wouldn't squish a caterpillar because they're cute, but you know what I mean? They look like squeeze, squeeze. Because they're like plump little roly-poly. Anyway. Yeah. An eternity bug with rainbow-colored wings. They are native to Tenyo Island, but there is one that flies around Naraku. But rainbow-colored wings sounds like a butterfly, so maybe mushi is caterpillar. I don't know. Okay, so maybe mushi is caterpillar. Because, like... I reached out to the flying, iridescent creature that I had not seen for 13 years. The eternity bug alighted on my hand for a moment, then set off on its flight again. Although, eternity bug is kind of sad because butterflies only live for like a week. And now that is a surprise. Feels like forever since I've seen one. Now, where are my manners? Come inside and we can continue our conversation there. I have some iroha flower tea for us to drink, so let me brew it. Come. I fucking love this man. I love Doma, but I love this man. I just want to protect him. He is like the one that, I don't know, there's something, I don't know why, look, the characters in this game are good, okay? Tsukuyomi, this painting, it's amazing. Okay, there's like reed baskets with babies in it. I saw one and now you see the one at the top. It seemed the spring wasn't the only surprise awaiting me here. There's like a hidden secret in here. Like, do you see that reed basket with a baby in it? Like, there was one further down and it's like, Like, there's some kind of like hidden meaning behind this. Like, the blue could be the sky, but it also could be waves. I mean, it looks like there's clouds in it, but it also looks like the waves of the ocean. Like, I don't know. There's some kind of like... Anyway. The sheer magnificence of his painting left me mesmerized. It's beautiful. Wait, go back. I want to see the hidden meaning. It is not only a painting, but a mandala. Can't get his voice right. Anyway. So this is what a mandala is. Oh, you know of it? Lord Jigen told me about the mandala recently. Ah, it is certainly something he would discuss. But I never expected it to be so huge. Did you make this yourself, Tsukuyomi? Indeed. I have been working on this for a long, long time. But I believe the end is near. That sounds ominous, but... So it's almost completed? I do wish to complete it, yes. Oh, I see red, blue, yellow. Does this mandala represent this island? Yes, I'm painting this very world. See, there's something about the end is near. You're almost done. I want to finish it. Those two sentences. The end is nigh. Oh, of the day? Yeah, that too. Oh, okay. And then she just goes on and is not like, girl, that was so ominous. Yes, I am painting this very world. Let me see. This white flower is an iroha flower, isn't it? And this must be Lord Hirako's boat. My dear child, do you know what this painting is made of? Oh my god, are you going to say dead people's souls? Is it not ink? Okay. You knew at some point we're using paint. I'm using human souls. I was breathless at the sight of lined bottles of what I thought were filled with ink. Souls too small to be offered to the gate or the sun,
or ground into a fine powder using this.
I looked carefully inside the mortar and found a red show. Show? The show from the surface are used to build the Ama no Mihashira. I don't know why she's like, you're painting with them? We're building a fucking femur bridge. I feel like this should be more shocking, like, but it's like, yeah, nope, we're still building, like, Skull Gate over there. Like, what the fuck? I mean, is this worse? No. The game did not set me up for this to be like a moment. It's like, no, I mean, after Femur Bridge, you were kind of like, what else are we doing? We're going to wear them as fancy jewelry. Like,
this was like a soul of some poor person once.
like, wearing them to galas and shit. So, like, using them as paint. I mean, we're building bridges with them, so. I know, it's a Shrine Gate thing, whatever, but it's Femur Bridge, okay? While the show from Yomi are offered to the sun, if the show are too small for either purpose, Tsukuyomi uses them as dye for his paintings. And it's like, although, I mean, if you take a step back, okay, let's forget about Femur Bridge. This is a little bit of that thread that makes Tsukuyomi slightly creepy, is like, you're painting with people. Slightly disturbing. All right, just going there. Anyway.
This show sinks when placed in normal water, but if I pour in the Shinamizu, see? It melts like this into a vibrant ink. Do you not find it beautiful?
Yeah, this is part of that creep thread, and, like, it makes you really disturbing, but still somehow hot. Look, I don't know what is wrong with me. Because, like, a real person who was like, I paint with blood or something, you'd be like, I'm gonna leave because I'm gonna end up dead in your basement. But with, like, Tsukuyomi, you're like, okay, sweetie, keep talking. Like, again, the creepy shit I deal with in games, I would never deal with in real life, but of course these colors are beautiful, but I couldn't help but tremble. Tsukuyomi wasn't doing anything wrong. I mean, technically, isn't he? I mean, I just feel like everything we're doing with these souls is slightly wrong. I mean, offering them as sacrifice, like, I feel like that's more acceptable in theory because of what people have done and, like, pushing the virgin in the volcano. We talked about this. Or now this person is dead and you're offering up their soul or their life for whatever to the sun. Okay, I mean, it's sort of, I guess you could kind of put that in as awkward funeral rites. Painting with them and putting them in a fucking monument, little weird. And, you know, there's plenty of stories of like, well, this been the Tower Bridge, there's dead people buried in there. Like, we made sure we threw a couple of the contractors in there for good luck, dead bodies in the, you know, stories like that. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but, you know, there's stories like that where you're like, oh yeah, no, hi, there's dead bodies buried in walls all over the place. And you're like, that's kind of fucked up. But, like, you know, so it just makes it more fucked up. And we're like, no, but we're actually building this tower thing with dead people's souls. There's a difference, you know? Like, anyway. But the idea that this massive painting was created from such ink sent a shiver down my spine. Yeah, but Tsukuyomi's still fucking hot, and I'll accept it. Like, do not be afraid. And this is no different from holding a funeral. A little bit different, buddy. A little bit different. Yes, I felt myself regaining a sense of calm. I suppose this is Tsukuyomi's way of bringing eternal rest to these souls. Again, you can look at it like that, like, what are we going to do with these crystals that can't be used in the Tower Bridge or to sacrifice to the sun? These people just go to, you know, so he's turning them into a beautiful piece of art. Again, it's really no different than Femur Bridge. She's slightly disturbed by it, and it's a little weird just in the context of what we're used to in reality. But for this world, it's really no different. But it still makes him a little oddball, and I like it, though. Like, I like that we keep adding odd sprinkles onto him. We're just like, did you not have enough sprinkles on this odd flakes? Okay, here we go. Like, that's right. Tsukuyomi, do you know what, Potalaka. Potalaka is? Forgot how to say that. From Jigen, I assume? Tsukuyomi smiled and wrote a word on a piece of paper. Potalaka is a place of peace said to exist beyond the ocean. I was reading it backwards just to see if it could be an anagram, but Akalatop. It's not a word. It's not a word either. It's also said that you must wander the ocean on an ark fortified with shrine gates in order to reach Potalaka. That sounds similar to Lord Hiriko's story. Many legends share striking similarities. New arrivals are both natural as well as mysterious. That reminds me, I recently found a message in a bottle on the beach. A letter, you say? I hope it brings you good fortune. I hope so too. I took a sip of my now lukewarm tea, then looked around his hermitage. I have to say, I had no idea your pastimes were painting and bringing dolls to life. They are more missions than pastimes. Various things require my attention as I attended to my duties. I was really surprised when I found out that Camellia was a doll. And there was a reason behind her resemblance to a human child. Human child? There he goes again. Tsukiyomi has always been this way. Maybe it was because he was an outsider, but he spoke as if he weren't human himself. He might not be. I mean, have you met the man? He fucking crazy. Like, the man is a bowl of crazy flakes. But I love him. But I missed the opportunity to deliver her to you. So instead of having her collect dust, I dispatched her to assist Yosuga. You know, I'm actually friends with Camellia now. And he carries around this little doll that's either us or our mom. I'm just saying. That is good to hear. Tsukiyomi smiled gently as his sleeves flowed elegantly. By the way, I heard you began your search for a husband. Yes, that's true. That's why I came here at first, to discuss it with you, but... I am sorry about that. So, how are things faring? Not well, I'm afraid. I shared with him the conversation I had with Yosuga. I must say Yosuga is right. I only wish for you to find the person you truly love and be happy above all else. It is important to preserve the white, but as with the other women on Tenyo Island, you can only bond with a man you crave with all your heart. When touched by a man you do not trust... Ugh! Oh, that makes sense. Now that's because that's what I was wondering. So like people can touch it, but like if we're like really angry or whatever, and that's the whole like the assault thing that's gonna happen. But so that explains the high rampant emotions, like Doma coming after it, grabbing us, but we don't trust him, and that's why we crystallized his hand, right? But it brings back that question of, so like all these weird assault situations that could happen, like this is like going to become the kingdom of the crystal penises. If like, I mean, I'm just saying, like that's not going to end well for them. You know? So it's going to be, it's kind of interesting. But somebody earns your trust, and then they do that. How does that, semantics. But anyway. I reminded you of something unpleasant. Let us look at this in a different way. That power of yours can protect you. It's a power granted to you by the goddess Amaterasu, so that foolish men will not harm you. The power to prevent anyone from tainting you, from breaking you. It's for you to find happiness. I mean, be a nice power to have, right? Back off, taser hands, or like, I'm just saying. Others on Tengu Island can wield Batsu as well. They can extract the soul from the body and transform it into a show. Using Batsu on a red will create a red show like this. But the women of Tenyo Island are different. I've heard this 1,000 times. Yeah, well, we haven't! Tsukuyomi gave a gentle smile as I turned my face away. My dear child, you know this very well. Long ago, a shapeless god separated its spirit crystal into two to create man and woman. Since then, humans have been born without half of their soul and are fated to search for the one who would complete them. Which is why when two such halves meet, love prevents them from parting ways. I gave a deep sigh as I looked at the mandala. To be honest, I'm scared. I feel like no man on this island sees me for who I really am. All they want is Olympia or a white, and not me. You know Akaza from the Kotowari? He even told me he'd be my husband if I couldn't find one, just because it's his job. And that's not all. Do you think I have the right to love someone after what I did to Doma? Do not fear. I'm sure your soulmate is waiting to be with you just as you are. Are you really sure? Is there really someone out there who could love me? She's like all the doubts you ever have deep within yourself when you're having like those moments of self-doubt, you know? You're like, maybe I'm unlovable. Like, it's all this. You're like, game, stop. Of course. Tsukuyomi gently patted my head. He always encouraged me ever since I was little. Child of the White, and never forget your dignity. The Red Calamity. Those on Tengu Island who fear and ridicule you are fools themselves. Your mother, Hakua, and the other women of the island did no wrong. Hakua, Olympia's mother, who met her soulmate at 18 and soon became pregnant with Olympia. I swear to God, if he's not our dad, it's weird. She taught her daughter the traditions of the White and died during the Red Calamity. I can't wait to find out what that actually was. Sounds like slaughter. You're right. The world began in darkness. Goddess Amaterasu created the sun, and the god Tsukuyomi created the moon. See, this is why it's like, and then he goes by Tsukuyomi, and you're like, I mean, same thing. And it's like, maybe our mother was actually Amaterasu. You don't know. And he's the moon. I mean, the moon and the sun. And like, I'm just saying, and kind of like, well. And then from the other world came the outsider Hiroko on a boat made of reeds. The women of the Tenyo Island White were born to worship and protect the goddess of the sun, Amaterasu. Which is why Hiroko of Tengu Island and the women of Tenyo Island treated each other with respect. The women of the White offered their prayers to Amaterasu, and in turn, Hiroko declared Tenyo Island a sanctuary. But 13 years ago, foolish men defiled that sanctuary by arriving on the island. Ah, here we go. I bit down on my lip. The women killed themselves to preserve their sanctity. And only you remained. That's what the Calamity of the Red is. I thought it was like slaughter, but they did it to themselves. Okay. But question. If they have the power, like, we turned Doma's hand all fucked up because we didn't trust him and he touched us, right? So if a bunch of men rump up on this island and the women are like, nah, fuck this shit, don't you think they would have just turned them all into show? Instead of like, oh, let's kill ourselves. Like, there's some kind of weirdness about this that doesn't, like, make sense. But it also doesn't line up with him saying that we can use this power against people we don't trust. That's why we fucked up Doma's hand. Okay, good explanation for that. But then the game has these warnings about non-consensual stuff and assault, and it's like, but like, how is that gonna work if somebody approaches us that we don't trust? We're not gonna be able to use that power on them, and this is gonna happen to us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe because it's a high-stress situation or whatever happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess they could kind of, but there's still like a question of like, I guess it depends on how they write it, but if we have this power and we did this to Doma just because he grabbed a hold of us, you think someone like sexually assaulting you, you're gonna just let them get away and you're not gonna like literally turn them to crystals if you had that power? Or again, in this case, a bunch of men stormed the island and the women decided suicide was better than turning them all to fucking rocks. It's not quite, the math isn't adding up. So like maybe there's more that we're gonna find out to explain it, but it seemed like this is like Swiss cheese. This is a piece of Swiss cheese that you handed me, and I'm still trying to figure out why there's holes in it. Because it just doesn't feel complete, you know? So. Each time I remember that night, the reddened moon and sea, I wish to curse this world. Tsukuyomi. See, he looks sad. I still think he's our dad. Humans are unsightly and cruel beyond measure. Countless times have I despised my own weak soul. You're not weak. You're not a white, Tsukuyomi, but you're my only family. Which is why I remember the kindness you showed to my mother and everyone on the island. You were the only one who didn't treat us poorly. Of course. The white are the most precious and beautiful in all this world. You know, ever since my birthday, I've been dreaming about my mother. She's always smiling at me. I need to be happy for the sake of my mother and everyone who passed away. Yes, you must become happier than anyone else. I'm curious about the mystery of him. Like, is he our daddy? Is he of the white? We say he's not, but like, you know? The girl must not leave this place. Where am I? Where's Mama? Tsukuyomi? This is Tengu Island. I trust you've heard of it before. Doma's like, I never got married and I don't like kid. Doma is me. If someone's like, here's a kid. Fuck! The little place on the sea? Why am I here? Where is everyone? Beginning today, you'll be living on Tengu Island in this manner. Huh? No, I don't wanna. Who are you? Why are you saying that? Where's Mama? I'm 5 now. She promised she'd teach me to do yarn on a spool. She promised. Your mother is dead. Leave it to Doma to like go easy on the... Fucking... They really gave you to the one person who probably does not know how to deal with children. The worst fucking person to deal with kids. Okay. Huh? All the women of the white, aside from you, have died. Even if you return to Tenyo Island, there's no one left to welcome you. You're a liar! That's not true! You're a bad man who's lying to me! And find out Doma's your real dad. He's like, that's why you live with him. I'm just curious, do we find out who our real dad is? Believe what you wish. It's your right to dream, but you'll be living here regardless. No! You're a liar! Lady Amaterasu is gonna be mad at you! Amaterasu, don't make me laugh. But... I'll say it again. Your mother is dead. Literally why Doma does not have actual kids, because the day he had kids and his wife died, he would be like, yeah, your mom's dead. Anyway, moving on. And they'd be like, what? Dad, what? Like, fucking Doma. Liar! Liar, liar! I hate you! That's not true! Mama's not dead! She can't be! You're lying to me! You're a liar! Maybe that's when we turned it, like, we were 5. Crystallized his arm. Oh my god. It was only a week after my 5th birthday that I found myself waking up in an unknown bed. I didn't understand when Doma was telling me he was of the yellow, that I was at his manor. No matter how many times I cried and pleaded with him, he kept telling me that everyone on Tenyo Island had died. Did they really? Nobody can go out there. Tsukuyomi goes out there. Are we sure they're dead? Maybe he's not lying. Maybe he's lying to us. He is literally like frickin' Truman showing us. I don't know. That's all he said to me. After that, he made sure I couldn't find a way out. He only looked at me with those cold eyes. Finally, on my 10th birthday, I escaped.
Look how white she is. She's so creepy.
Isn't that the girl from Tenyo Island? Which means she's of the real white lineage. Why are they looking at me like that? There's nothing wrong with me. Should we try and nab her? You're gonna get cursed if you go anywhere near the women from that island. Cursed? We wouldn't curse anyone. Why won't anyone help me? Here's the funniest part, though. They're all like, oh my god, those women will curse you and all that shit, right? Obviously, there are some people who don't believe that, because otherwise nobody would ever be born on that island. So there's obviously, well, aside from Tsukuyomi, but there's obviously, like, we can get all, the women could get all, how? The men, again, there's so many, like, holes. There's so much Swiss cheese going on in this game. I don't know if they're going to explain it or, like, what, but there's so many holes. If that has to do with the Matrix, like, oh, they can marry whoever they want. So do they like take like a field trip to like pick up men on the main island because nobody can get out to Tenyo Island? So like how the fuck does that work? Except for Tsukuyomi, so like is he everybody's daddy on that island? Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like there is some shit going on. Like there's so many questions, but he didn't do anything. I thought all the women on that island died. No, I heard Lord Doma's actually raising the last surviving white. No, he's lying. My mother, everyone, they're still alive. I mean, they might be. We don't know. Like, there's so many fucking holes in this. There's a boat. I can get back to the island. Everyone's there waiting for me. They're not dead. They can't be. Sir, she's here. Come here. Stop. I'm going back to my island. Don't come any closer. I hate you. How many times must I tell you? There is no one on the island. I return to the manor. You have to be lying. I'm not going to believe it until I see for myself. Come here, now. Get away from me. Everyone is there. Everyone on the island is waiting for me. Give up already. No! And there's our power. Zapping this poor man. Doma's a dick, don't get me wrong, but also like, they literally gave care of a child to a man who was like, what? Fucking kids, people, everything sucks. This man is like, it's like being like, okay, well, like, Harry Potter, your parents died, so we'll give you to Snape. It'll be fine. Like, come on. It's worse than the Dursleys. Even though Snape was a good boy. But still, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's because he looks like him. Ugh! Anyway. And that was the day we cursed Doma. It's a perfect place to end it. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, look. Oh. Oh. It's like a CG with Tsukuyomi. You're trying to tell me he ain't my daddy? Come on. What the fuck? He is... Like... Come on. But it's gonna be disappointing. But it's gonna... Seriously? Spoilers? I can't do spoilers, but like, other games that we've played, if you've watched all of them, you know which one I'm talking about, where you're like, I love this character. This character is awesome. Like, yeah, and that character's your fucking dad. And you're like, wait, what? No, I can't romance this character. This character is my daddy. Oh, God. Creepy. You know, I don't... But, like, at least he's not... There's no character route for him. Really? But, like, come on. I just can't... look, our dad's hot, all right? And, like, so, her dad's hot. Olympia, your dad's hot. So me, Spacey, I'm just gonna take him with me to the man. Like, I love him. He's adorable. But he big dad energy. It's because it's the looks, really. He's somehow related to us. There's no way he's just, like, in part. Like, you know what I mean? But... That I would be shocked about. If they're like, no, he's absolutely not related to you in any way, and he's absolutely not a white. Wow, that's a shocker, because there's some kind of connection there. But or he actually is the real Tsukuyomi, god of the moon type of a thing. But then I think our mother was fucking actually Amaterasu. I don't know. Like, so many theories. My crazy theory board, like, everything is crazy. Anyway. But I'll leave you here. Look, it's kind of like a CG at the end, but not really. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.